So it's been 2 weeks since I've updated, and now I'm back to talk about something that I've been wanting to talk about for a while. The men's rugby team. But before I get into that, I'm not saying that girls are weaker or whatever, because I'm sure there's lots of female-bodied, female-identified individuals who could kick the ass of any guy at something that they're good at or whatever. But still, that being said, I mean, it's obvious that biological guys just have kind of a natural advantage when it comes to athletics. And you probably heard me talk about how I tried P90X. I got through a month of it. It was really great. I did build muscle. I got a lot healthier. It was very noticeable to me. But I just felt like all the other people I was doing it with, who were all biological guys, my brother, my dad, my friends, they were kind of doing it with us, and they just built muscle faster, and they just already could do however many chin-ups, and I could do none when it started. And I don't know how they felt going through these hour-long workout DVDs, but sometimes they just killed me. And usually I got through the entire hour and did everything, and sometimes I even did it with my friends or with my brother or with my dad, which was interesting. I at first I wanted to do it alone because I didn't want to have to be comparing myself to a biological guy. Really, when I was doing it with my brother and stuff, it was really fun and funny, and it made it go by quicker, and I didn't really feel all that bad about it. But there was just this one time where I was really tired that day. I was tired all throughout the day. I didn't get much sleep the night before. I was on my period, and I was just moody and I wasn't upset, but I was just tired and moody, and but I wanted to do my P90X video for the day, and I was doing it, and it was one of the hard ones, and it was really, really tiring, and I was it was hurting, and I was feeling kind of bad. And there was one exercise where it had you on the floor anyway. I don't remember what exercise I was doing, but I was basically on the floor, and while I was on the floor, it was so pathetic. I just broke down because I was just thinking about how I just couldn't compete with the results of guys, and I just wanted to do a million chin-ups and just be amazing at everything. And I'm not even that good at sports, and I just want to be. I just wanted to be, and I was just a mess on the floor, and that's all you need to know. So then I went to college and, started the rugby practices, and I was barely on T then, but whatever, I was going to do it anyway. And, of course, one of my concerns was that I was not going to be able to I would just be so much worse athletically than all of the guys on the team, these big athletic rugby guys, 6-pack, 6 feet tall, whatever, because that's kind of what a rugby player looks like in general. But I was surprised at how well I could keep up with them. I was definitely way below a good number of them, but there was always a couple guys that I had more endurance than, I was faster than, whatever. I had some knowledge of the game under my belt, so the new players, I had a little something on them and stuff, so I was feeling pretty good. Even though I'm so short, 8 of my steps is equal to one of their leaps, I still felt like I wasn't completely in a different league. I kind of felt okay, I can do this, I can be on this rugby team, it's all good. That season happened, fall season's over, and now we're doing these winter practices, which are indoors because it's cold and snowing outside, so we can't have outdoor practices anymore. So our practices are in a gym, and a lot of the practices are focused around endurance training and cardio stuff to get us in shape for the next season. And that is what kills me, because number one, I'm wearing my binder through all of this, which is such a bad idea. I don't recommend it to anyone, but rugby, being on this men's team, it really means a huge deal to me. It's one of the things I'm most proud of, that I'm on the team. I'm not even good, and I just need to be on it to feel satisfied. So, and I need to wear a binder. I can't get away without one. So I'm doing that, so that already is hindering my ability to even perform at my own highest level, let alone their highest level. So, like, we had to run around this big track for 10 minutes, I think. And we practiced with the girls, by the way. That was necessary to say. We practiced with the girls' rugby team, which is really small. So there's only like 4 of them that come to practice regularly. And so we were running around the track, and we're supposed to like run as a team. So we get in 2 lines, we run around. But you know, eventually, as the 10 minutes is winding down, people are falling behind. And you know, when we do stuff like that, usually I am falling behind, but I can stay with it, like in the general vicinity of them. But we were the 10 minutes were winding down, and the girls that were practicing with us, they don't have to abide by the same like rules. I don't know, but they were just, you know, walking laps. They weren't running with us really, and I was hurting. Like, I couldn't breathe. I was in a lot of pain. We'd been doing like cardio stuff all practice, and I was just dying. I was dying, but the one thing I didn't want to do is to like hang back with the girls. I just wanted anything but to do that. But it got to a point where I felt like I couldn't even see straight because I just couldn't breathe. And I was like way behind already, and we just got to a point and I just stopped, and I had to like catch my breath for a lap, and then I got back with them. But that's like the one thing about my existence that just makes me feel the worst out of anything I've had to deal with, like body dysphoria, whatever. Like that feeling of just not being able, like not physically being able to keep up with them at all, and you know, being put in that category with the girls, that's just it. I just don't like it. I have nothing to say. I don't know, that practice was just really hard for me that entire day. They wanted me to kick, like do the kickoff, and I'm really bad at kicking, and I missed the ball, and I was just, I didn't do well that practice. I do perfectly fine, like, most of the time, and I don't feel these feelings of inferiority, but that practice was just like, oh, it put me in a bad spot. I have some other interesting things to share. I'm sorry this video is getting kind of long. That's what happens when I don't update for 2 weeks. I end up making a really long video. So I think I've said this before, that I am living in an apartment with friends next year. So we had 2 more spots to fill with like random people, which we never filled. So the apartment paired us with 2 random people. They sent us an email saying, and I quote, "We found 2 perfect matches for you." So they gave us the names, and of course the first thing we did was look them up on Facebook. And so we were looking up this one guy, and okay, first of all, every single picture he has is of him like holding a gun and, you know, loving America. We looked more into it. Turns out he just got out of the Navy. But anyway, we were looking at like his Facebook posts and stuff. Let me just read you some of his status updates. God has blessed us with another day. Nothing can come between me and God. The only things that matter are God, family, and the time you spend with each of them. I saw God today. So obviously, he loves God, and he loves America, and he loves guns, and he's military, and you know what? I have very good accepting friends who are very, very religious. The most religious person I know is one of the most accepting people I know. I know people who are very accepting who are in the military, and I know people who are very accepting who like guns. So, I mean, I'm open to this. And then we went to his info section. Under political views, he has listed himself as a radical Republican. The friend that I'm living with is gay, and I'm, you know, me. So this has the potential to end very poorly for us. I don't know. So we've decided to avoid conflict or violence or, you know, whatever, that we'll have to, you know, tell this guy what he's getting into in case he is this stereotypical America-loving, military, religious, radical Republican, and he doesn't like us. We should tell him what he's getting into. Oh, so we saw that you are a radical Republican. Well, we are radical queers, so how do you feel about that? I'm sure we'll handle it a lot differently than that, but we probably should tell him because I don't want to get beat up. I mean, obviously I could take him because I'm super buff, but I just would rather not.